Hello everybody, welcome to another charting session here on the channel. Today is February 7th, 2024, and I'll be going over ES and NQ futures action. So, starting off, going into this morning, I had marked an SMT here. So very first thing, I was watching this pre-market, and right here I saw that we had created this 15-minute fair value gap, right? And we had a run up to take out this buy side liquidity. And so at the time here, I marked out this 15-minute fair value gap. And if we go to just the 1 minute here, let's look at this quick move I saw earlier today. So right here, we had an SMT created. Let me actually do this on the 5 minute. This will probably look better on the 5 minute. Yeah, okay. We'll just look at the 5 minute here. All right. So at this point in time, it was just pre-market this was made, but later, a little bit after market opened, we saw this right here. We saw this SMT that was created. We also, if you look very closely right here, we swept sell side, tapping into this 15-minute, and after that I knew we were going to bounce higher. So I saw this rejection. Now, the only problem with this was that let me look. The only problem with this move is that I never really got a entry. I was definitely wanting to enter here, but I saw this rejection, and honestly, I should have probably entered in this order block or this fair value gap right here. And that would have been a great trade. But number one, we already tapped it here. And second of all, at the time, I realized that we were bouncing off of this off this 1 minute. And I kind of just felt like it was not going to play out. And honestly, that was probably not a good move on my part. But for one, we had buy side taken here at the time. And I was thinking, well, ES might reject off. And so this SMT might not work. But on NQ, we still did not take this. And so I wanted to be cautious this morning. So I did not take this, but this would have been a great setup. You would have taken your long position on here, the order block. I'd probably do it on the start of this fair value gap. So I would enter in somewhere here. I would have probably put my stop down at this low right here, and I would have targeted this buy side right here. So it's just a really small move. We ended up actually just skyrocketing, and I wanted to get an entry, but we never came back. And then we took these out, and after we took out these buy side levels, I kind of just was thinking we're probably done for the day. And that is true. We had a massive run in the overnight session. Here was the overnight session. It doesn't look like much, but the overnight session sort of going into this morning had a big rally up. And I was thinking that once we take these buy side levels, we're probably not going to have much of a move. And as you can see right here, we just basically consolidated the whole day. We did tap into this 3 minute, and I was looking at this at the time. I saw we rejected off this 3 minute and went higher, and I wanted to see a retrace into this other 3 minute right here. But I did not sadly get that entry, as you can see. And then ES is like the same thing here. This could have been an entry you could have taken. We had these equal lows, and then we had this this sweeped them and rejected higher. Personally, I would have wanted it to tap into this 3 minute or 5 minute fair value gap, but it did not. And if you were to take this, I probably would do something like this. So if these sweeped, you could say this could be a sell side sweep. And what people actually do, and what I've been kind of working a little bit towards, is to just buying these stops. Meaning I place a buy order at this right here, and it's kind of just like with repeated, with repeated price you see so many times whenever there's stacked lows like this and kind of just the market's in a situation like this, you'll see that these stops actually get bought very frequently and cause the market to rally. So you could have done that, and then you could have taken or added onto this order block right here. Not that, sorry. Order block, there we go, right here. So you could have added off of that. If I was to take this off of here, since it didn't tap into this 3 minute, if I was just buying these stops, which I probably wouldn't because I would want it to, the stops to align a little bit closer to the fair value gap, I probably would have to put this at the bottom of this candle. I mean, not much good risk with this, and then target maybe like this high. It wouldn't be that great of a trade. So that is personally why I did not take that one. But yeah, that's really all I took, or I didn't take any trades, but that's all I really looked at today. We can also see that if we go to the 5 minute, right here, this would be a manipulation leg right here. So if I draw this out, we can maybe see where standard deviation would lead us. So not really too prominent. We kind of just basically went off of sort of the top wick of this breaker probably. We perfectly lined up to that. Let me just find an example. There's got to be... I remember earlier there was like a standard deviation projection that I looked at. Oh, it might have been right here. Might have actually been this right here. Yeah, let's see. So put this here, put this there. Yeah, this is what I was looking at earlier. So usually if you do have a liquidity sweep, now I always do mine with this $sign, and for liquidity sweep, I make it the symbol because you can see, well, this symbol not as much. This is not a good example, but usually if we are to sweep liquidity and then sweep it again, like twice, but on the internal model, then I'd put this sweep of liquidity signal here. So when that happens, you can make this right here. This will be your manipulation leg because this is the one push down that manipulated this low. Put your standard deviation on these two candles right here, and you get your projection. And this is the area right here where we are expected to go to. Right? This area right here, which is exactly what happened. We tapped off of this, went back lower, and then the next goal of that is to get to 50% of this range, which we had, and we tapped off this 3 minute, and then next you would want to see this 4 area get projected. So we have respect to the first thing. We went to this level, 2 to 2.5 area, went down, went off 0.5, rejected off this fair value gap right here, and sort of off the top of this breaker candle. And my prediction in the overnight session is that we are going to maybe slowly work our way up. So something like this might happen. It's always not guaranteed we're going to make this -4 level, but let's look at this with here. Is there any projection I can make? Yeah, right here. So is that really a good spot? Hold on. No. There's not really any good spots to do this at. But that is where we could, and if you look, this -4 does look like it could align with this buy side liquidity on ES, right? It's around the same kind of distance away. So we may honestly go up to here. I don't think the overnight session, we're not going to go this high in the overnight session, but maybe the next 2 days possibly would be nice to see is tomorrow we end up forming, and this could really happen. I'd like to really see us on ES. I would like to see us come down and we dump to this area. And we go to this 3 minute fair value gap. Also taking out these lows. And then after that, we see us then retrace back up to the -4 area or this buy side. So that could be something we'll see. I'm not going to be able to trade tomorrow morning because I do have a class, but that is definitely a possibility. Let's go ahead and check news real quick. So tomorrow we have news at 8:30. We have FOMC here. So there is a possibility if we have FOMC pre-market and then this right here and also this bond action, there is a possible chance that afternoon might be good action. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. Hopefully it is, because that's when I can trade. But yeah, and you can also see right here, if you were to take this thing right here, you could also add to this fair value gap if you wanted as well. There's a 3-minute, but I've honestly really been liking the 3-minute on especially days that are more choppy. Like if you look at the 1 minute here, it's just, that's the one thing I didn't like about this day. It was just so choppy. But this did happen, but the 3-minute usually cleans things up. If there's action on the 1 minute, it's pretty choppy. I mean, it's still choppy in the 3-minute here, but you could see it's clearly not as much. The 5-minute would probably be less. Yeah, the 5 minutes a lot less choppy. So it's kind of just identifying the market conditions. Do you want to take full size, or do you want to, like, you know, just do a little bit of a position? Just do a shorter position, because especially with this action, you're going to want to put your stop losses a lot more further out, because you can see these wicks right here. They will definitely do a lot of damage. If you have, like, let's say you're putting an order in, let's just say for some reason you were to put an order in right here, right? And you put your stop at like the bottom of like this candle or something, you would get wicked out. And that's why especially I do not like putting my stops at like a couple of lows right here, just because usually they'll all get swept just like that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this charting session, and I will see you all in the next one.